Rebirth. September 16th, 1990, my first birthday. I entered this world in a normal, screaming, bloody birth. However, 18 years later, I was reborn. Everyone goes through one birthday. I have experienced two. I grew up abused by my mother's boyfriend, a man my mother became involved with after she divorced my father. My mother is mentally challenged. She was unclear of her role as my protector. With no control of who I was on the inside, I wasn't living my life. My birth was like any other. I was born in a hospital with family surrounding me, bearing gifts of sparkling balloons, aromatic flowers. Caring doctors and nurses waited on my mother and me. My mother has the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. At the age of 7, I became mother to my 2 younger sisters. I learned all motherly duties such as cooking meals, cleaning the house, and the biggest responsibility of all, raising my 2 sisters. It was hard to raise them at my age. I was a child myself. All I wanted to do was play outside and have fun, but my sisters needed a mother. My life consisted of lies, fears, and emotional distress. Every day I lied to family and friends about my home life. I lived in fear about saying anything about my situation because I had been brainwashed that if I told, I would lose my sisters or worse. Depression was a major factor in my childhood. Not once do I remember being happy. I cared only about my sister's happiness. This man came into my life when I was 3. At first, he seemed like a great father figure. He treated us like we were his own children. He started to abuse me when I was 6. The day of my rebirth was when he held the knife to my face. I had never been so scared in my life. At that moment, I thought, I can't live like this any longer. I had to get my sisters and me out of that home. The fear that day gave me the strength to finally reveal what was happening in my home. I didn't want to imagine how life would continue to be. The following day, I went to the police, told them the truth, and immediately they picked up my sisters from school. A huge weight was lifted. I never felt so happy. We were taken to a beautiful shelter that day. I was reborn. We celebrated my 18th birthday with such joy. We hugged and cried, not wanting to let each other go. We didn't have a normal birthday party for me. Instead, it was a day my sisters and I took to ourselves to realize that we weren't dreaming. We were actually safe and sound and in a real home. I did make a wish that day. I wish that my sisters and I would never again be in an abusive situation. I wish that we would be happy from here on out. I received presents of love, happiness, and compliments of bravery that day. Also, I received the smiles on my sisters' faces. I couldn't ask for anything else. The police were such a great help that day. They made sure we were protected, and they immediately took us away from that home. When we came into the shelter, we were greeted like family. The first question we were asked was, "What do you like on your pizza?" We had conveniently arrived on pizza day. They made sure we were comfortable, not pressuring us to tell them what had happened and why we were there. Their goal was to make sure we wouldn't have to worry about our safety anymore. The shelter workers were absolutely amazing. We always felt at home. We were protected and all a family. Today, I hold my head up high. I am a happy, outspoken, fun, and delightful person. These are descriptions I would never have used before. As a newborn, I live life as myself, not anyone else's way. I'm a college student at Lansing Community College in the Vet Tech program. I'm studying to be a veterinarian. Also, I have the most supportive and loving boyfriend who helps me get past the scars. Even though I missed out on my childhood and teenage experiences, I'm trying to make up for all of that now. My sisters are living life wonderfully. My 18-year-old sister is living in her own apartment, enjoying her new life unafraid. My 15-year-old sister is beginning high school, living with my aunt and uncle, who were so generous to take the 3 of us in. I know my sisters are safe, and I know I am. My mother is now in a healthy relationship, but is struggling with the fact that she no longer has her children. She is unclear of why we are no longer around. Although a few bumps of memories and fear come along, I face them with strength, telling myself the danger is all over now. I have no reason to be afraid anymore, and I know flashbacks will fade away. The past will always be with me, but it won't take over my new life. I was brought into this world, helpless and afraid, but I was reborn into the independent and strong person I am today.